All right, everyone, welcome back. All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is June 29th, 2021. So I just want to show you this chart here of the dollar index that I posted earlier on Twitter. But we can see we had the bullish divergence here in the MACD really late last year, and that gave us this relief rally. But now we're getting a topside bullish divergence here. We're making a higher high in the MACD. Blue line crossing over, so it's getting some more energy here, and you have the lower high here. So this is really kind of flashing a bit of a buy signal on the weekly time frame, which is more important than the daily. It's a larger, more dominant time frame. So there's that I just wanted to point out. And then if we just go ahead and look over at the daily chart, you can see that, let's see, one second here. So we're dealing with this little bit of resistance here at about 92.12, we'll call it, and unable to close above that again. But another higher low in here should suggest that it should push back above this level and make a run at this 93.50 area, and want to attack those highs shortly. So that could put pressure on the equity markets. But again, with the light volume this week, again, spiders coming in just a little bit, but getting a bounce as volatility upticks in the last hour here. But really, market's not too phased. We have, I think, 25 million shares traded. I just checked on the SPY. Yeah, 24.5 million at almost 315. So that is terribly light. You're not going to see a major market sell-off or any real major action with markets volume that light. That's why I stress, like, take time off this week if you can take time off. Don't overtrade, and don't really get too excited about a lot of things on the downside. So also Apple. So I will be taking profits on Apple if we push up to 137 in that area. I would say we do have a pretty good chance of squeezing into the close. There's some sellers that came in here at about 136.50. But to me, it ultimately is just consolidating here to make a run at this double top. I'll show you here on the hourly. Go hourly chart here. Yeah, so you have this pivot here going back to April. Yeah, so this April pivot, and now you're just kind of consolidating sideways to make a little push up there. Again, wouldn't surprise me if we get there towards the latter part of the day in the last hour, as we are kind of chopping sideways here. And with the light volume, any little buying should squeeze those sellers out. But volatility is still ticking up here a little bit, so we could be maybe seeing some put buying, but ultimately I do expect volatility to die down, probably starting tomorrow as the volume dries up even more. I did pick up some SVXY, which is short-term VIX futures. And that's just a short-term hedge play that I'm making just into the weekend as we see volatility dry up into the holiday. So that's just something I just picked up, just a short-term little a hedge as I take the Apple hedge off. Some other charts I found interesting. XLE here. Notice this looks like a distribution pattern here. So you've got you made this new high, and then you kind of rolled over with good volume. Notice the volume here, and then you pulled back up, made a lower high, and then you're having you had a pretty decent sized sell-off yesterday, again with volume. So that looks to be distribution. New high, flush, and then they let it up for air, and then they flush it again. So it looks like there's some distribution going on in XLE. So that could be telling us something for that sector in the future. Also, XLF, kind of same deal. This looks like distribution. Who cares about the bank dividend news? That's already priced in. I mean, look at the move here. So good news is probably priced in, and we're seeing XLF negative today, despite the good news. So it could be a sell the news event. But yeah, just so those high yield plays are starting to come in a little bit. Just want to keep an eye on that. This other chart I've been looking at for a potential short setup. I want to see a little bit more data here. I like this topping tail. This is a Cloudflare. I like the topping tail. It's overbought, extended. If you take a fib here, your downside target really would be your first stop would be just under 100, maybe 95 at this previous double top. I think you can get as low as 92.50 and hit that 382 there. I'm just kind of looking for the weekly time frame to give me a sell signal. In this market, you don't want to rush to really short anything, especially with the volume the way it is right now. So I'm waiting for a secondary sell signal on the chart. If we get that by Friday, I might take this short. Also, just flipping over to gold really quickly. Not terrible price action here. So we had this, it looked like it was going to break down, and then they punched it back higher. So could be a failed bear flag on gold. So that's not terrible. And on the monthly chart, if we look here, we have one more day to close out. If you can push back above here, above this green bar high, this could actually be like sneaky bullish. Now, not hugely bullish, but sneaky, because you're just back testing this 20 MA essentially. And if you close back above this green bar, you'd still be inside of this candle to close the month out, which would not be a terrible thing. So just wanted to point that out, and as we close the month here. So yeah, volatility coming back in just a little bit here. That should give the markets a lift into the final hour. And yeah, I think that's about it. I just wanted to give you guys a little update there, and just make sure to watch that. We're going to be watching that dollar chart very closely. Need to, yeah, this thing needs to get back above this 92.12 area to push through these highs, but probably needs to do a little bit of consolidating still, especially again. And don't expect too many major moves with the holidays coming up. But after that, we'll see what happens when we get some more volatility. All right, guys. Anyways, take care, and have a great rest of your day trading.